Hi guys, Mrs. Tolson here. I'm going to touch base with you very quickly on your assignment for Wednesday and on Thursday. First, if you have not looked at Friday's video, it would be very informative to do so. That way you have all of the information. I wanted to get this assignment out to you on Wednesday and Thursday instead of Thursday and Friday. So that way, for some of you, it's easier to not have necessarily the harder stuff and the stuff that's graded on Fridays. But please make sure that you watch that video on Thursday or for Friday and for Thursday before you start doing any of your work. It will just, the more practice, the more times you see it, it'll be very helpful. So what you are looking at here is two different holes of what we would consider for mini golf. So you have an assignment that you are going to do holes 1 through 5 on Thursday, and then, or excuse me, 1 through 5 on Thursday, and then 4 through 10, 6 through 10, excuse me, back that up. 1 through 5 on Wednesday, 6 through 10 on Thursday. I apologize for that. So this is just an example of what you are seeing. Like I said, the other videos are great, but it doesn't give you in this mini golf format. So for our purposes, we're not going to necessarily worry about the tee box that you start from or the hole that you're trying to hit it into. We are just trying to find the area basically of these objects. So I'm just going to do two examples. I'm going to do hole 1 and hole 2 here, so that way you can see the different ones that you could expect. So for hole 1, I look at this and I see two different rectangles. So I know that my area of a rectangle is just length times width. Now, if I were you and I were doing these assignments, if you have the opportunity to print out that paper, print it out. If not, draw it, okay? Because it's going to help you visually see everything. Okay, so if you can't print it out, then draw it out and write down what we are doing, okay? So I'm going to first work on my area in red here, and then I will work on my area in blue over here. So for my length, I have, I'm going to start up here. Let me get my red back. And I am given that the length here is 10. That's given to me. And again, I will hold off on my labels until the end. And I'm given my width here is 4. That is nice and easy. 10 times 4, I know that that is 40. And I know that I'm working with feet squared. I thought we were getting a little better on the writing here, but it's a little sloppy right there. Okay, sorry about that. So now let's look at this rectangle that we have here. We are given our width of 5, but we are not given this length. So again, I always want to write down what I'm working with, length times width. I'm given my width of 5, not given my length. So I'm going to go and look for parallels. Okay, so what a parallel line is, remember, it is going to be equal distance from that, and it's going to be going in the same direction. So if I'm looking for this parallel for my length, I can, wrong button, sorry about that. If I'm looking for my parallel right here for my length, I can go right here. I see a parallel, but that 7 is not included in here, but it is going to be helpful information. I continue over, I see another parallel over here of 10. So that means that this entire distance is 10. This 7 is not included. So to figure out this width right here, it's pretty easy, guys. This is my total. I'm going to subtract 7 from my total to get what is left over. Well, 10 minus 7 is simply 3. So my width over here is 3. Now I can check this to make sure that my lengths on this side of my figure all add up to the length on the other side, and 7 plus 3 does add up to 10. So that's the extra little step you have to think. Okay, we have to think when we do these that we have to do. The actual math is not very hard. So 3 times 5 here is 15. Again, we're dealing with feet squared. I apologize for the writing. So we're just going to come over here and make it a little bit more neater. I have 14 plus 15 feet squared. I'm going to go ahead and add those up. 14 plus 15 gives me 55 feet squared. That is a nice and easy one. I like how that one comes out. No real hard issues to deal with on that one. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at hole number 2. The thing about hole number 2, I can move that off to the side. Awesome. The thing about hole number 2 is it is dealing now. I'm looking at it. It looks a little funny. I see on here that I have a rectangle and then I have a semicircle. It is not a complete circle. I have a semicircle here. So as always, let's do the easy one first. Let's start with our rectangle, okay? Don't worry about that this says perimeter here, guys. So my rectangle is 11 by 3 here. Okay, so my rectangle is 11 by 3. So again, when we are dealing with these, we want to find our length times our width. 11 times 3 is 33 feet squared. I have 33 feet squared for my distance inside here. Now we're going to be working with our semicircle over here. Now understand that the formula for a circle, and finding the area is pi r squared. Oh, well, let me move that. Is pi r squared. So my area equals pi r squared. And we are going to use 3.14 for pi. 3.14 is what is for pi. I do not know my radius. Okay, so remember on parts of a circle here, let me go ahead and get a new document here so that way we can see this. Okay, remember on parts of a circle here, this is Telson's lovely drawings, the diameter goes all the way across the center point from one end to the rest, and my radius is half of that diameter. Okay, my radius is half of that diameter. So for this, I am not given my diameter or my radius. So now I need to look for parallels. Well, if I continue on, I know that this 4 feet right here is not included in this, but I know if I look at this parallel, this 11 is included, part of it is included in this. So what I can do is I can subtract the 11 for the entire length, subtract it from 4 to get the diameter here of 7. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and show my work now on this other page just so it is a little bit neater for us all. So I am dealing with this part of it, okay, and we said that this was 7. That was the entire length, but I don't need the entire length, guys. We're dealing with radius squared. So remember, area equals pi r squared. Okay, so I need to find the radius here. Well, if my diameter is 7, half of 7 is 3.5. So my radius here is 3.5. So now all I do is I plug in that value in for r. Okay, I plug that value in for r. So again, we had 3.14 times 3.5 squared. Okay, remember squaring a number just means that we are multiplying it by itself. That 2 is the exponent. So in our order of operations, we square before we multiply. So I'm just going to go ahead and 3.5 multiply it by itself, or square it. You get 12.25, and we're going to go ahead and multiply that. Go back over here. Oh, sorry. You get 12.25. I'm going to go ahead and multiply that now by 3.14. 465, and I get 38.465. That's great. That's the area of a circle, but the problem is this is a semicircle, so I'm going to take that number and I'm going to be dividing it by 2. Again, I'm dealing with a semicircle here, so I'm going to take that number and I'm going to divide it by 2. So I have 38.465 divided by 2. 19.2, I'm going to just round it 0.23. 19.23. That, folks, again, this is going to be in feet squared. is the area of that semicircle. So now let's go back into our original. So I have 33 feet, and now I'm going to add my 19.23 to this. And when I do that, I get 52.23. So my area for this one is going to be 52.23 feet squared. 52.23 feet squared. Again, guys, I know that it is a little bit difficult to see all this. I would highly recommend, like I said, printing it out if you can. Printing out your frog if you can. If not a big deal. Just draw all your pictures out. Remembering, if you want, print that reference sheet or put it on a sheet of paper, rewrite it, whatever it is that you want to do, so that way you remember these equations. The key thing for the second one is that a semicircle is always divided by 2. If you guys need anything, send me an email for that. But Wednesday and Thursday is that, and make sure looking at your mini golf. Have a good one, guys.